Listen, your body has an incredible intelligence. It knows how to repair itself, how to regulate itself, and how to respond to the things we give it or deny it. Yet most of us live unaware of one critical process, a mechanism that can dramatically affect our health in just 48 hours. It's subtle, hidden, and often dismissed. We're talking about the natural ability your body has to manage cholesterol, to flush it, to balance it, and to use it as fuel for life instead of letting it build up and suffocate your vitality. Most people think this process takes months or years, that it's something distant, something you can only influence with expensive pills or complicated interventions. But the truth is far more empowering. Your body doesn't wait months. It responds immediately when you give it the right signals, the right environment, and the right input. Imagine your body as a river. For decades, this river flows steadily, but over time, debris begins to collect along the banks. Bits of cholesterol, stress, and inflammation pile up, narrowing the stream, reducing its ability to carry life's energy efficiently. Most people live thinking this is normal. They accept the slowdown as inevitable. They call it aging or genetics, as if it is something outside their control. Yet in reality, all it takes is one shift to open the gates, to activate the channels, and to allow the river to flow freely again. The first thing to understand is that your body is not your enemy. Every cholesterol molecule, every fatty deposit, every stubborn buildup exists for a reason. It is not punishment, it is a message. Your body is trying to protect you, trying to keep you alive in an environment you may not even realize is toxic. But protection without awareness can become stagnation. And stagnation is exactly what creates the frustration, the fatigue, and the confusion many people feel when they think their health is beyond repair. In reality, the body is capable of change, rapid change, if only we choose to give it the tools it needs. Within 48 hours, significant shifts can occur if you focus your energy on activating the body's natural drain mechanisms. This is not some gimmick or miracle supplement. It is biology responding to the proper cues, hydration, movement, nutrition, and timing. Every cell in your body is listening. Every artery, every vein, every tiny enzyme is waiting for signals that you are ready to prioritize life over habit. You cannot convince your body with guilt, with regret, or with wishful thinking. You convince it with action, consistency, and respect for its design. Hydration is often underestimated. Water is not just a liquid. It is the medium through which your body flushes toxins, mobilizes cholesterol, and strengthens every organ system. Drinking enough water signals the liver, the kidney, and the intestinal system that you are ready for cleansing, that you are ready for flow. Movement is equally critical. Simple, deliberate movement, even walking or gentle stretching, tells the body that energy should circulate, that stagnant cholesterol should be processed, that metabolism should engage. And then there is nutrition, not deprivation, not fad diets, but targeted choices that reduce inflammation, stimulate bile production, and give your body the raw material it needs to act effectively. These choices are not complicated, but they require awareness. They require the courage to stop following old habits and start following life. Many people underestimate the power of timing. Your body operates on rhythms, biological cycles, and signals that respond to light, rest, and energy expenditure. A late night snack, a skipped meal, or a chaotic routine can suppress the very systems your body is capable of activating in just 48 hours. But when you align your behavior with these natural cycles, something extraordinary happens. Cholesterol that has been accumulating quietly begins to mobilize. Blood vessels regain elasticity. Energy levels rise. You feel lighter, sharper, more alive, not because anything external changed, but because you finally allowed your body to do what it was built to do. The mental component cannot be overstated. Stress is a silent amplifier of cholesterol accumulation. When the mind is in constant fight or flight mode, the liver produces more fat, the arteries constrict, and the body clings to excess as if survival depends on it. But even here, change can be rapid. Calm your mind through focused breathing or deliberate reflection, and the body responds immediately. The chemical signals shift. Blood flow improves. The drain that has been clogged for months or years starts to open. In 48 hours, the difference is measurable. Not in a dramatic, magical way, but in subtle energy, clarity, and feeling that life is moving through you again. The power of small, consistent actions cannot be overstated. One morning you choose water instead of coffee. One meal, you choose balance over indulgence. One afternoon, you move intentionally rather than sitting in passive comfort. It doesn't sound monumental, but these are the triggers your body needs. They are the light switches in a dark room. Flip them and suddenly everything is illuminated. Your body starts to remember its natural rhythm. Cholesterol mobilizes, energy returns, confidence grows. You begin to feel the intelligence of your own biology, and that feeling alone transforms how you approach the day. Most importantly, understand that transformation is not about perfection. It is about awareness and initiation. You do not need to change every habit at once. You do not need to overhaul your life in a week. You need to initiate the process, respect your body's intelligence, and commit to the first step. The moment you decide to take action, your body recognizes it. Within 48 hours, the mechanisms that have been dormant can awaken. The chemistry begins to realign. You start to feel lighter, clearer, more capable. And that is the door to long-term change, the recognition that your body is a partner, not an obstacle. Too many people wait for a crisis, for a warning from their health, or for some dramatic event to force them into action. But the truth is, the body does not need a crisis to heal. It only needs a signal, a conscious choice, and consistent support. The moment you provide those signals, you activate a process that can restore balance, clarity, and vitality faster than you ever imagined. 48 hours is all it takes to begin noticing that shift, to sense that energy flowing freely, to experience the intelligence of your own biology responding to your choices. It's powerful because it reminds you that change is not abstract or distant. It is immediate, responsive, and within your control. It's not just about cholesterol. It's about respect for your own body, about acknowledging that you are capable of influencing the most complex systems inside you. Every choice you make, every decision you take is a message to your body. I am ready. I am aware. I am choosing life. When you give that message, even small actions compound into results you can see, feel, and measure. Your metabolism awakens. Your arteries respond. Your mind feels clearer. Your energy rises. You experience firsthand the intelligence that exists in every cell, the life that runs silently beneath the surface, waiting for you to activate it. Change does not require struggle. It requires alignment. It requires giving your body what it has been asking for all along: water, movement, nutrition, rhythm, and calm. Within 48 hours, this alignment can produce measurable, meaningful results. Your body has been waiting for permission to act. Give it that permission, and the hidden processes it has been quietly managing for years will begin to operate at full capacity. You will notice it not just in numbers or measurements, but in how alive you feel, in how much lighter and clearer your mind becomes, and in the way energy flows effortlessly through every system in your body. You are capable of more than you realize. Your body is capable of more than you realize. The difference is awareness, action, and initiation. Within 48 hours, you can trigger systems that have been dormant for years. You can begin to restore balance, clarity, and vitality that you may have assumed was lost forever. The choice is yours. Your body has an intelligence that most people never fully appreciate. It's a system so intricate, so precise, and so responsive that it can adapt to changes in hours, not months, if given the right signals. Every organ, every cell, every enzyme is constantly communicating, constantly monitoring, constantly adjusting. And yet, many of us live as if our bodies are passive vessels, as if we are merely passengers in a machine that operates independently of our choices. The truth is the opposite. Your body has an incredible ability to restore itself, to regulate itself, and activate processes that can transform your health in ways you may not even imagine. Cholesterol, often misunderstood and feared, is not your enemy. It is a natural component of your physiology, necessary for hormones, cellular function, and energy. The problem is not cholesterol itself. The problem is imbalance, stagnation, and the failure to engage the body's natural intelligence to regulate it. Most people assume that improving cholesterol is a months-long process requiring drugs or complicated regimens, but this is a misunderstanding of biology. The body responds immediately to the right environment and the right choices. And within 48 hours, these systems can begin to operate more efficiently, clearing accumulated cholesterol and restoring balance. Hydration is one of the most underestimated signals you can give your body. Water is not just a liquid, it is the medium that allows every process, every flush, every chemical reaction to take place. When you drink water intentionally, Your body recognizes it as a signal that the system is ready to process, to cleanse, to mobilize the substances that have been lingering in your arteries and veins. This is not a theory, it is a principle of physiology. Your liver, your kidneys, your digestive system, all of them respond immediately to hydration by increasing efficiency. Cholesterol that has been slowly accumulating begins to move through the bloodstream, being processed and excreted rather than allowed to stagnate. Every sip sends a message of readiness, a message of respect for the intelligence within. Movement is another crucial trigger. You do not need extreme exercise or hours at the gym. Even simple, deliberate motion, walking, stretching, light strength exercises activate circulation and metabolism. Your body is designed to move, and movement sends signals that energy should flow, that cholesterol should be mobilized, that your blood vessels should remain flexible and responsive. The body interprets movement as a command to awaken dormant processes. Arteries that have stiffened begin to regain elasticity. Enzymes that process fat become more active. Your metabolism, which may have slowed from years of inactivity or poor habits, begins to operate at a higher level. These changes are subtle but profound, measurable not just in lab results, but in how you feel physically and mentally. Nutrition plays a central role in this process as well. It is not about extreme dieting, deprivation, or complicated supplements. It is about feeding your body what it actually needs to activate its natural mechanisms. Foods rich in fiber, healthy fats, antioxidants, and essential nutrients provide the raw materials the liver and other organs need to process cholesterol efficiently. Certain foods stimulate bile production, aiding in the removal of excess cholesterol. Others reduce inflammation, which is one of the primary barriers to circulation and enzymatic function. By choosing foods consciously, you send a signal that the body is supported, that it has what it needs to begin the cleanup, the regulation, and the restoration of balance. Timing is also critical. Your body operates on rhythms, biological cycles that govern energy production, hormone release, and nutrient absorption. Misaligned habits, such as irregular meals, late-night eating, or chaotic sleep patterns, disrupt these cycles and suppress the very processes needed to manage cholesterol effectively. By realigning with these natural rhythms, even in small ways, you create an environment in which the body can activate its intelligence. Morning hydration, regular movement, and nutrient-dense meals timed appropriately allow the liver to engage fully, enzymes to function efficiently, and blood flow to improve. Within 48 hours, these adjustments can produce noticeable changes in energy, clarity, and physical vitality. Stress, often overlooked as one of the most damaging factors affecting cholesterol balance. When the mind is in a state of constant tension, the body produces hormones that promote fat storage, reduce circulation, and impede enzymatic activity. Chronic stress keeps the body in a protective mode, holding on to cholesterol and other substances as if survival depends on accumulation. Yet even here, change can be immediate through breathing exercises, focused reflection, or intentional mindfulness. You can signal to the body that it is safe, that circulation can resume, that cholesterol can be mobilized without risk. The chemical environment inside the body shifts, arteries relax, and energy flow resumes, demonstrating the remarkable responsiveness of your physiology. Awareness is the invisible key that unlocks this entire process. Many people attempt to improve their health passively, waiting for external solutions or magical fixes. But the body does not operate on hope. It operates on signals, on choices, and conscious engagement. By being aware of what you eat, how you move, how you hydrate, and how you manage stress, you initiate a cascade of effects that awaken dormant systems. Cholesterol is no longer a passive problem. It becomes an indicator of responsiveness, a measure of your ability to communicate with your body. The intelligence that has been lying dormant recognizes the activation and responds immediately. The beauty of this process is that it is self-reinforcing. Once you initiate action, your body begins to reward you with energy, mental clarity, and physical vitality. These rewards motivate continued action. You drink more water because you feel lighter. You move more because circulation feels effortless. You choose foods that support balance because you sense the difference in energy and well-being. Within 48 hours, this loop begins to create a noticeable shift, a demonstration of the body's innate intelligence responding to the conscious decisions you make. Many people underestimate the immediacy of the body's response. They think it takes months or years to see any results. The truth is that biology operates continuously. The liver, the blood vessels, and the cellular machinery are all capable of responding to positive stimuli within hours. Hydration, movement, nutrition, timing, and stress management, all of these are messages to the body. When combined, they activate processes that have been dormant, that have been waiting for permission to operate fully. Within 48 hours, you begin to notice subtle yet profound changes. More energy, mental clarity, improved digestion, and the mobilization of cholesterol that may have been stagnant for years. Your body is not waiting for a crisis, and it is not indifferent to your choices. It is intelligent, responsive, and capable of restoring itself. The key is awareness, intention, and initiation. By giving the body the proper signals, you unlock mechanisms that are already present, systems that have been lying dormant, waiting for you to recognize your role in your own health. This is the first step in transformation, the demonstration that change is not distant or theoretical, but immediate, measurable, and entirely within your control. Small, consistent actions are the gateway to massive transformation. Many people wait for a dramatic event, a sudden insight, or a major lifestyle overhaul before they believe change is possible. They imagine that health, energy, or balance can only be achieved through extreme effort or complicated programs. The reality is far simpler, yet far more powerful. Your body responds immediately to small, deliberate choices. Every action you take sends a signal to your system, a message that either encourages stagnation or triggers restoration. Drinking a glass of water, walking for 10 minutes, choosing a balanced meal, these are not trivial acts. They are the first dominoes in a chain reaction that can transform your health, clarity, and vitality in just 48 hours. Consistency, repetition, and awareness are what amplify these small actions into monumental change. The human body is designed for flow. Every organ, every cell, every system operates best when energy moves freely. Cholesterol, which is often feared, is no exception when the body is stagnant. When choices are inconsistent, cholesterol accumulates, circulation slows, and energy wanes. But small, intentional actions immediately alter this environment. A walk in the morning signals to your arteries, veins, and lymphatic system that circulation should resume. Hydration triggers chemical reactions that move cholesterol through the bloodstream efficiently. A single meal rich in fiber and nutrients encourages your liver to mobilize stored fat. These actions may seem minor individually, but they compound. The body recognizes the pattern, responds, and amplifies the effect. Within 48 hours, measurable changes begin to appear. Consistency is the secret multiplier. One walk, one healthy meal, or one day of mindfulness is not enough to completely transform your body, but it is enough to start a process. The body remembers patterns and it responds to repetition. When these small actions occur day after day, the cumulative effect is enormous. Metabolism accelerates, enzymatic activity increases, circulation improves, and the mobilization of cholesterol becomes more efficient. This is not magic, it is biology operating as it was designed to. The power lies not in occasional effort, but in consistent signals that tell the body it is supported, that it is valued, and that it is time to function at full capacity. The impact of small actions is amplified by awareness. Many people act without noticing, eating, moving, or resting out of habit rather than intention. When actions are intentional, every choice becomes a tool of transformation. Drinking water is no longer a mundane task. It is a signal that the body should flush toxins and mobilize fat. Walking is no longer a routine activity. It is a trigger for circulation, energy, and mental clarity. Choosing nutrient-dense foods is no longer a restrictive act. It is the initiation of a chemical conversation that signals the liver, arteries, and digestive system to operate efficiently. Awareness transforms small actions into meaningful catalysts for change. Mental clarity is one of the most immediate benefits of consistent, small actions. When the body receives the proper cues, the mind responds. Energy rises, focus sharpens, and the fog of confusion begins to lift. Cholesterol and other biological processes are not isolated. They are interconnected with the nervous system, hormones, and brain function. By engaging in deliberate habits, you create a ripple effect. The body begins to optimize, and the mind experiences this optimization almost instantly. Within 48 hours, this can be felt as renewed alertness, reduced fatigue, and a sense of mental lightness that reinforces continued positive action. Momentum is created when small actions compound. One positive choice leads to another. Hydration encourages movement, which encourages better food choices, which encourages more focus and calm. Each step builds upon the previous one, creating a loop of reinforcement that the body responds to eagerly. The body is intelligent and it recognizes patterns. When it senses that positive habits are consistent, it activates dormant mechanisms that were previously inhibited by stagnation, poor nutrition, or stress. Cholesterol begins to mobilize, energy increases, and vitality returns. This is the invisible power of small, repeated actions. They are the ignition point for transformation. Stress management is an essential component of this consistency. Even the most well-intentioned actions can be undermined if the mind is in constant tension. Stress disrupts chemical balance, slows circulation, and reduces the efficiency of enzymatic processes. Small, consistent practices of calmness, focus, and reflection counteract these effects. A brief meditation, deep breathing, or a moment of mindful awareness can amplify the impact of physical actions. Together, body and mind enter a state of alignment where cholesterol is processed efficiently, energy flows naturally, and clarity emerges. These small, deliberate moments, repeated consistently, are enough to trigger profound physiological and psychological change. The beauty of this process is that it is accessible to anyone. You do not need a gym membership, expensive supplements, or advanced technology. You need awareness, intention, and repetition. Drinking water, moving your body, eating thoughtfully, and managing stress are universally available actions that signal to your body it is time to act, it is time to restore, it is time to function at full capacity. Within 48 hours, these actions can produce noticeable shifts. Energy rises, mental clarity improves, and the body begins to process cholesterol more efficiently. The proof is in the experience, not in external validation. This principle extends beyond cholesterol management to all areas of life. Small, consistent actions are the backbone of transformation. Every achievement, every breakthrough, every visible result is preceded by repeated, intentional actions that may have seemed insignificant at first. The difference between stagnation and growth is not massive effort, it is deliberate consistency. Each day, each choice, each small action adds to the cumulative impact that triggers change on a profound level. The moment you commit to consistent small actions, you activate a process that is self-reinforcing. Your body rewards your effort with energy, clarity, and physical responsiveness. Your mind responds with focus, motivation, and confidence. Momentum builds naturally, and the compounding effects create profound, visible results that reinforce further positive behavior. The small actions that once felt trivial now define your transformation. Within 48 hours, the body begins to realign, mobilize cholesterol, and restore balance in a way that demonstrates the extraordinary power of consistency. The mind and body are inseparable partners in every process of transformation, yet too often the mental component is overlooked. People focus solely on food, movement, or supplements as if these actions alone can generate lasting change. But the truth is that mindset and awareness are the ignition keys that allow the body to function at its full potential. Stress, tension, worry, and constant mental noise create a silent blockade inside the body, disrupting chemical signaling, slowing metabolism, and suppressing processes that could otherwise mobilize cholesterol and restore balance. The hidden force behind stagnation is often not what you eat or do physically. It is how you think, how you perceive, and how consistently your mind sends signals of readiness to your body. When mental awareness is cultivated intentionally, the body responds immediately. Within 48 hours, the effects can be felt not only in energy levels and circulation, but in clarity, focus, and an overall sense of vitality that proves the mind and body are deeply intertwined. Awareness begins with observation. You must first notice what is happening inside, your habits, your emotions, and the subtle signals your body has been sending. Most people live disconnected from these messages, overwhelmed by external distractions, unaware that their own thoughts are influencing chemical reactions, energy flow, and circulation. By paying attention, even for a few minutes a day, you create the first spark of change. The moment you acknowledge the stress, the fatigue, or the stagnation, you give your body permission to respond. This recognition alone triggers subtle shifts in hormone balance, blood flow, and enzymatic activity. Cholesterol that has been accumulating quietly begins to move, not because of a drastic intervention, but because the mind has chosen to align with the body's natural intelligence. Intentional focus is the next layer of transformation. Meditation, deep breathing, and moments of reflection are not just calming practices, they are physiological triggers. Stress hormones decrease, circulation improves, and chemical pathways that have been inhibited begin to function optimally. Within hours, the nervous system enters a state of balance, allowing the liver, digestive system, and circulatory system to operate more efficiently. These small but deliberate acts of mental engagement are sufficient to activate processes that many people believe require months or years to influence. The body is listening to the mind, and the mind is the command center of the system. Consistency in mental engagement compounds the effects. Just as small, repeated physical actions create momentum, repeated mental practices reinforce the body's ability to process cholesterol, balance hormones, and regulate energy. A single moment of focus may provide temporary relief, but the repetition of awareness, calmness, and intentionality establishes a pattern. The body recognizes this pattern and adapts, mobilizing resources that have been dormant. Energy becomes more abundant, mental fog lifts, and the physiological process of cholesterol drainage accelerates. Within 48 hours, these effects become noticeable, creating a feedback loop that motivates continued mental and physical alignment. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagining the body functioning optimally, imagining cholesterol moving efficiently, imagining energy flowing through every artery and cell is not mere fantasy. The brain cannot fully distinguish between imagined and real physiological signals. By visualizing healthy function, the mind sends chemical and neurological messages that the body interprets as directives. Blood vessels dilate, circulation improves, enzymes increase activity, and energy rises. Visualization amplifies the effects of physical actions, accelerating transformation. Combined with hydration, movement, and nutrition, these mental practices create a synergy that produces rapid, measurable results. Stress reduction is central to this alignment. Chronic tension and worry are silent saboteurs, slowing metabolism, reducing enzymatic activity, and creating an environment where cholesterol remains stagnant. By cultivating calmness, you remove the invisible barriers that prevent the body from functioning efficiently. Simple practices such as mindful breathing, intentional pauses, or short periods of reflection send signals of safety to the nervous system. The body interprets these signals as permission to process accumulated fat, optimize circulation, and restore balance. Within 48 hours, the difference is felt as lighter energy, greater focus, and a subtle yet profound sense of relief. The mind also shapes perception, which is a critical determinant of action. People who perceive change as difficult, delayed, or impossible create internal resistance that suppresses the body's responsiveness. Belief, even if quiet and understated, is a trigger. When you genuinely believe that your body can respond, that small actions matter, and that within 48 hours a shift is possible, the body aligns to support that belief. The nervous system, hormonal pathways, and circulatory system all adjust in response to the mental expectation of change. This is why mindset is not secondary to health, it is foundational. Integration of mental awareness with physical action produces exponential results. Hydration, nutrition, and movement are dramatically more effective when the mind is engaged and calm. The body is intelligent and adaptive, but it requires signals of readiness, focus, and intent. By intentionally aligning mental and physical practices, you create a powerful synergy where cholesterol mobilization, energy restoration, and overall vitality occur faster and more efficiently. Within 48 hours, this alignment becomes tangible. Energy levels rise, focus sharpens, circulation improves, and a sense of well-being emerges. The intelligence of the body is always present, waiting to be activated. The mind is the key to unlocking that intelligence, to sending signals that initiate dormant processes. Every moment of awareness, every breath, every intentional thought is a message to the body that it is safe, that it is supported, and that it can function at its full potential. When the mind is aligned with the body's needs, transformation is not theoretical. It is immediate, measurable, and deeply felt. The mental component of change is also self-reinforcing. As clarity emerges, energy increases, and the body responds, the mind gains confidence in the process. Motivation grows, focus strengthens, and the feedback loop of alignment intensifies. Small actions, both mental and physical, compound, creating momentum that sustains transformation. Awareness becomes habit, calmness becomes default, and vitality becomes a natural state rather than a distant goal. Within 48 hours, the effects of this mental-physical alignment are undeniable, showing that the mind is not just a passenger in your health journey, but the conductor orchestrating the body's extraordinary capabilities. Everything we've explored, the intelligence of your body, the power of small, consistent actions, and the alignment of mind and body, comes down to one simple truth: you are not helpless, and you are not passive in your own health and life. The systems that have been lying dormant, the cholesterol, the tea has been stagnant, the energy that has been trapped, all of it is waiting for you to send the signal that you are ready to take control. Every sip of water, every step you take, every mindful choice you make is a declaration to your body that it is time to restore, to mobilize, and to function at its full potential. Within 48 hours, you can feel the shift. You can feel energy return, clarity emerge, and your own body demonstrating the intelligence it has held all along. Change does not have to be distant or theoretical. Transformation is available in every moment, in every decision, and in every choice you consciously make. Your body is capable, your mind is powerful, and together they create a force far greater than you may have realized. This is your reminder that health, energy, and balance are not given. They are activated, nurtured, and claimed by the choices you make right now. Take the first action today and let your body show you just how remarkable it truly is. Health, IS, power. Bye, take care.